Zeno, let me ask you something. Have you ever faced a situation that almost brought you to your knees?
Oh, absolutely. Musonius. Life has thrown its share of challenges my way. But let me guess, you're not just looking for a personal story. You want to dig into the Stoic perspective, right?
You know me too well. Stoicism has such a unique way of framing adversity. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Today I escaped from anxiety, or rather, I discarded it because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside." That hits hard, doesn't it?
It really does. Anxiety isn't about what happens to us. It's about how we interpret those events. Let's unpack this idea today. 7 Stoic principles to help people manage and even end their anxiety.
Sounds perfect. Let's start with a big one, naming your monster. Picture this. You're at work, staring at an endless list of unread emails. Your chest tightens, your thoughts spiral, and suddenly, you're overwhelmed. Sound familiar?
All too familiar. That shadowy feeling creeping in. That's your monster. But Marcus Aurelius taught us to demystify it. He advised us to trace its outline and call it by its name.
Exactly. Take Sarah, a tech manager we'll use as an example. Every deadline brought her anxiety to a boiling point. But when she took a moment to define her fear, her team's performance reflecting poorly on her leadership, she saw the monster for what it was.
And once named, it loses some of its power. By identifying her anxiety's source, Sarah could address it directly. She improved communication with her team, which didn't just reduce her stress, but also built trust.
So, the takeaway here is simple. Next time you're anxious, pause and name your monster. Write it down if you must. Once it's out in the open, it becomes manageable.
Let's move on to something foundational, staying in the present. Emma, an entrepreneur, was so focused on future goals that she missed the beauty of her daily life.
Classic case of destination syndrome. Marcus Aurelius reminds us not to let the sweep of life crush us. The present moment is where we live, where we can act, and where we find peace.
Right. For Emma, shifting her focus to the present brought contentment. She started savoring small victories, moments of laughter, and even the quiet satisfaction of a job well done.
And isn't that the essence of mindfulness? Anxiety often stems from ruminating about the past or worrying about the future. By grounding ourselves in the present, we reclaim our power. Zeno, you ever get angry at something, only to realize later you misunderstood the situation?
Oh, plenty of times. Stoicism calls us to test our impressions. Marcus Aurelius believed our emotions arise not from events, but from how we interpret them.
Think of it this way. A colleague criticizes your work. Your gut reaction might be anger or defensiveness. But if you stop to analyze, you might realize they're trying to help you improve.
This process, questioning your initial response, can transform your outlook. It helps you see things objectively, reducing unnecessary emotional turbulence.
The key is to slow down, reflect, and ask, is my reaction justified? Often, it isn't.
Let's talk about desires. Stoicism emphasizes focusing on what we can control.
Right. Desires tied to external outcomes often lead to frustration. Instead, channel ambition into internal growth, your effort, integrity, and attitude.
It's liberating. If your happiness depends on external events, like a promotion or someone's approval, you're setting yourself up for anxiety. Focus on what's within your power, and you'll find peace.
Reassessing wants regularly helps us align with what truly matters. That clarity is priceless. Now here's a counterintuitive one. Do less.
Sounds paradoxical in a world that glorifies hustle culture, doesn't it? But Seneca reminds us that tranquility comes from focusing on fewer, more meaningful tasks.
Quality over quantity. Instead of juggling 10 things poorly, tackle 3 with excellence. It applies to work, relationships, and even personal growth.
This isn't about being lazy. It's about intentional living. Cut out the noise, and you'll find clarity and calm.
Negative visualization is powerful, but often misunderstood. It's not about pessimism. It's about preparation.
Exactly. By imagining potential setbacks, we build resilience. Seneca said unexpected events are more crushing than those we've anticipated.
Take relationships, for example. Reflecting on the possibility of losing someone can deepen your appreciation for them in the present.
And in work, visualizing challenges can spur proactive problem solving. It's not about dwelling on negatives, but being ready for life's uncertainties.
Finally, the power of stillness. Marcus Aurelius called it shrugging it all off and reaching utter stillness.
In our chaotic lives, these moments are vital. It's about stepping back, taking a breath, and finding clarity amid the noise.
Whether it's sitting quietly with a cup of tea or walking without your phone, these moments of mindfulness recharge us.
And they're transformative. Stillness isn't just physical, it's mental. It's about reconnecting with your inner self and finding peace.
So, what's our actionable takeaway? Start small. Choose one principle, maybe naming your monster or practicing stillness, and integrate it into your daily routine.
These techniques aren't quick fixes, they're habits that build over time. But with patience, they can reshape your relationship with anxiety.
And remember, Stoicism is about progress, not perfection. Share your journey with us. We'd love to hear how these ideas work for you.
Until next time, stay resilient, stay mindful, and keep exploring the wisdom of Stoicism.